Hi guys, the episode that you're just about to listen to is generously sponsored by our affiliates Board Game Crate. Board Game Crate provide a monthly subscription service where they get fresh new games delivered straight to your door. Just head over to www.boardgamecrate.co.uk, and furthermore, if you use our discount code UnluckyFrogIsAwesome, all lowercase, all one word, you'll get a cheeky little discount. It's easy to remember because it's true. Hello and welcome to the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast. You are joined by your usual hosts. This is Josh Hartley and Ben Porter. Ben, how are we doing?
We're doing okay. Glad that the weekend is in sight. Of course, that it will be the weekend.
Aye, by the time you good listeners are listening. Just, by the way, shout out to Tom. Tom, you're having a bath right now. So I hope you're enjoying that.
What?
So, Tom has told me at the last Pathfinder session that he tends to listen to our show while he's in the bath.
Right, I thought you meant like as we were recording that you were aware that he was in the bath. And
just right, like as of this moment, that is my superpower. I know when people are taking a bath, not a shower, just a bath.
Right, well, I never bathe, so I must be like invisible to you.
Yeah, you're off my radar totally.
I do shower, I might add.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
That goes without saying.
No, but I felt like I had to say that because there will be some smart arse out there that will make some ho ho ho. Yeah. Get out.
No, so Tom has revealed that he listens to the show while he's in the baths, and do with that information what you will.
Anyway.
Yeah. So
I must admit I don't like having a bath.
No, I'm the same. I feel like I'm just kind of in my own dirt.
For me, it's not so much that. It's the... After it, I feel like jelly.
All right. Oh, does your skin go, like, really
No,
pruny?
No. It's not like... It's like the... I think it's just the effect of the hot water on my muscles. I just feel all wobbly after a bath.
You just get out of the bath and just fall on your face immediately.
Yeah. I just don't like that feeling. Some people, that's what they relish about a bath, but not I.
Do you not like a hot tub then?
What do you mean, like, or just like bubble?
Wait, what the context is there?
No, right, okay. By hot tub, you're obviously meaning like you get the bubbles going.
Yeah, jacuzzi hot tub.
Sure, yeah.
Everyone likes that, right?
Yeah, I like that. That's okay.
It's quite a decadent feeling as well, like being sat in one of those and then having some snacks and a few drinks.
But at the same time,
you feel like a king.
Like, more often than not, if there's a hot tub, there's a pool nearby.
Would you rather be in the pool?
No, what I was going to say is that you can go between them, right? Because it's like, have you ever been to a hot spring?
I haven't actually, no.
So when you go to a hot spring, I went to one in Lake Tahoe many years ago in California.
Yeah.
And they've got the pool that's filled by the hot spring water, and it's roasting hot.
Aye.
But immediately next to it, they have a pool of cold water.
So you can cool yourself down.
Yeah, and you go between the two constantly. It's a bit like that with a hot tub and then like the
regular swimming
pool. The regular pool, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're in a bath, you're stuck with that jelly feeling.
Aye. Welcome to the sort of bathing / swimming episode of Unlucky Frog. We're literally being unlucky frogs.
Yeah.
Because frogs swim. That was poor.
You'd have to be a very unlucky frog to end up in a hot spring. I think. You'd be done.
A French frog.
Yes.
Yeah. But back. Remember when we used to talk about gaming on this podcast?
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times. You've done an article for the website this week, which we're going to talk about because it's a bit nostalgic for us.
Yeah, I mean, initially, I was just doing a bit of research for an article which was more or less a retrospective on a campaign that we both took part in. It's actually the campaign that we both met.
Exactly. Yeah. So this without sounding overly sentimental. Yeah. Some good memories there.
Lanky Santa might have been there as well.
Lanky Santa was there. Tom Mannering wasn't. Mr. Mannering had not.
Tom was not. I think Tom came onto the scene a little bit later. I think he might have still been in Carlisle at that point.
No, he was down in Preston, I think.
Was he? But he was.
He was south.
Yeah. It's all the same.
But Colin was in on that campaign as well.
There, BM as well.
Yes, BM, who you had a game with.
I did.
The other weekend as well, so we'll talk about that. But the article is a retrospective of the campaign and some hints and tips on how to make it good.
Yeah, well, obviously we're a bit older, maybe a bit wiser.
Nah,
debatable.
Nah, not me anyway.
Okay,
I'll own that.
But I basically committed to the article some of my thoughts and some of the conclusions that I've reached from the good and bad that we experienced in Under Crimson Skies, as the campaign was called.
So by all means, folks, check it out on our website. Have a read through it. Great article.
A little bit longer than the articles we normally do, but I think the blog has clocked it in at about a 9-minute read. So
yeah, it warrants it though, because you cover off quite a lot. But what were you, without wanting to repeat too much from said article, what were your highlights from that campaign?
At the risk of sounding a bit gushy, to me it was honestly the friendships that were forged through it.
Oh,
shut up. No, but in all seriousness, there's something about those sorts of experiences because it was an 8-month campaign, right?
Which is pretty long.
It's quite long as those campaigns go. I think the one we did quite recently was clocked in at about 6-7 months, but we were doing it bi-weekly.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a hell of a lot less frequent because one of the things that sucks about being an adult is you don't have as much free time.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Exponentially, it's like the older you get, the more responsibility you get, until I think probably you reach about 60.
Yeah, when you retire and then you have all this time.
Well, I was even thinking like when your kids get older, but to be honest, I think there's a lot of guys in their 60s that would contest that claim.
Aye.
But yeah, to go back to the campaign, there's something about that experience that I guess in hindsight, looking back, how could you not become great friends through that?
Yeah, and I actually was a late comer as well.
You were,
yeah, because it had already been underway. Just so like to give everyone a bit of my personal background, I had just moved to Glasgow, and I was playing Warhammer Fantasy back in Carlisle, where I'm from.
Yeah.
One of the first things I did was rock up to the GW store and just say, "All right, when's your fantasy game night?" So I've gone. This is how organised this campaign was, and I wasn't quite used to it. There was a waiting list.
There was.
Yeah.
It was in pretty high demand. And I actually talked in the article about the first meeting that we had in Waxy O'Connor's.
That's a good pub to have a meeting about a fantasy campaign.
It's got quite a sort of World of Warcraft Green Dragon type vibe.
So it's those who are not native to Glasgow, Waxy's is a Irish pub that's in the city centre, and it kind of looks like something in Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Right? It's really, really nicely done. Imagine if Disneyland did an Irish pub.
Yeah.
But with actual alcohol.
Yeah. It's nice, really nice pub, really nice atmosphere. So we met in Waxy's to first discuss what we'd be doing with the campaign, and I think there was about 20 of us there.
I insane.
And that wasn't all the people that were interested in. That was just the people that could make that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And not all of them hung around for the campaign for various reasons. You know, some of them maybe just were not as enthusiastic as others. Some of them were a bit weird, if I'm being truthful. Yes, just yeah. There's all sorts of reasons that all of those people weren't there, but it was mainly we could only accommodate 12 players.
Mm-hmm.
It was a massive map, but
the map itself took up like was it a 4x4 or a 6x4?
It was a 6x4. It was a big map.
Yeah. Looked fantastic though, and one of the things I loved doing was the actual pieces to represent your armies on the map.
Yeah.
So one of the fun things about this campaign was your entire army, right, had to be like constructed in a legal manner, but you could split it up into separate factions that could be whatever you wanted. So I had an entire army that was just ghosts at the time, before Nighthaunt were a proper thing. And the horrible thing about ghosts in 8th edition was you had to be magic to hit them.
Yep.
And I went up against poor Andy, drove his ogre army into it, and he didn't have a single bit of magic in that entire army.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was unpleasant.
A massacre.
Yeah.
No doubt. But yeah, I mean we had some pretty interesting rules. I think, and I allude to this in the article. I think that by 2019 standards, it would be considered quite clunky.
Yeah, gaming's come a long way. This was back in 2012 that we were.
There was a lot of stuff I think, in hindsight, was unnecessarily complicated.
Yeah.
And I definitely do remember that each week there was a lot of time spent just
micromanaging,
keeping accounts.
Yeah.
For your army, basically.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't just that was a bit cumbersome. I've seen some systems for campaigns that are just a lot more streamlined.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it as simple as the Games Workshop global campaigns, where it's just like, oh, you play the game, you get a point, and then it just goes to the Grand Alliance.
Yeah, whichever faction.
You get a point for painting a thing, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or we played Firestorm, where they actually have a deck builder element to resources, where it's you can purchase a barracks or a temple.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes into a deck, and you're not guaranteed necessarily to draw the upgrade you've just bought, but you have this balancing act of like upgrading your buildings or choosing to add new ones, but thickening out the deck potentially,
which makes it a bit more cumbersome and less likely to draw the good stuff.
Yeah, but that was a really neat system.
Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting how they did that. But and then of course you could just go for a full-on narrative campaign, right?
Yeah,
like you sort of craft a story around what you're doing, and that dictates. You
just do the linked games where it's like, if you win, we do this. If you win, we play this scenario. That type of thing. So, as cool as that big map was, I think by the end of it, the novelty had worn off.
I think we ended it at the right point. Like it was big enough and long enough to be for us to all say, this was something quite special.
Yeah,
but it didn't
map
get a bit stale.
The map itself, I think, was just really impractical in hindsight, because there was nowhere that we could really store it.
Other than GW.
Yeah, but even then, like the guys were struggling to get it down the stairs sometimes, and then like from that Thursday to the next, there's no guarantee that all the pieces are still going to be in the map, and if they are, they're not going to be in the right place, because someone rushes by, knocks it over, and tries to put it all back, and then suddenly everyone's flags are in the wrong place.
I remember everyone basically taking photographs on their phone to memorize.
Yeah, so if
exactly where each piece was.
When everyone's having to photograph stuff, it begs the question of why bother with a 3D map.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looked really impressive, and certainly it was a conversation starter. You know, people would sometimes just, what's that? You know, walking by, total strangers.
Remember, there was an American YouTuber who happened to be in Scotland, like work-wise, for his day job, but he popped into the GW store, and it was kind of surreal seeing him. And
I'd forgot about that.
Yeah. I'm desperately trying to remember his name now, because he does like a load of the tournament scene over in the US as well.
Beastman he played.
Yeah. And I remember him talking about it as well, like just how big this campaign was. So it was neat just having outsiders like just looking at it and thinking, "Whew, bloody hell."
Yeah.
So it was fun. And we always try to end each section of the campaign with an interesting scenario, and I think one of the more the one that stands out in my mind was we did a Colosseum scenario.
Yes.
Yeah, we had like basically characters, just the characters in each army, and we were monsters were thrown at us. If you've ever played the Fable games, right? There's always that in the Fable games at some point where you get thrown into a Colosseum and fight some big gribblies.
The Crucible in Fable 2, that kind of idea.
So that I recall got quite grindy towards the end.
Well, do you not remember the night where we were playtesting it?
Mm-hmm.
And you got the rule for the Crypt Horrors regen wrong.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
It was supposed to be like a 5-up regen,
and I thought it was 4.
It was 4-up,
and they were just impossible to kill.
So we were like sitting there like late into the night trying to kill these things, and you were actually like falling asleep in your chair.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, and then it was like towards the end, you're like, oh, I got the rule wrong.
Right, it's time to go.
Yeah, time for bed.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
But of course, your dwarf was just unkillable in that campaign as well.
Oh yeah, I mean back in Warhammer Fantasy, you could pull some really cheesy combinations off with dwarf lords.
Because was it basically like a practically, for all intents and purposes, a 1+ save, and then a 4-up ward save.
And then he was like strength 8.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it was horrible.
Oh no, it was glorious.
No, it was not.
I remember taking that guy to tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And you were always rubbing your hands when someone charged a demon princess against them.
Yeah.
Because they're, like someone that doesn't know what's coming, and like, oh great, yeah, I'm gonna
little dwarf gonna crush him.
And I remember, I took him to a tournament. It was Edinburgh League of Gamers were running, and this guy charged the Nurgle demon prince in, and the dwarf lord scalped him over 2 rounds of combat. and another player came up and was like, "What happened?" And then the guy was like, "Oh, I charged the demon prince in," and he was like, "Rule number 1 of fighting dwarfs: do not engage the dwarf lord." And he's right.
Yeah.
Dwarf lords were gross back in the day.
Aye, my vampires were pretty good, but they couldn't. They were a lot more killy than the dwarfs, but like
the vampires were good at like cleaving up rank and file.
Oh yeah, because you could just cut through like swathes of infantry.
Whereas dwarf lords, they would chew up monsters and lords. That was their thing.
Aye,
giant slayers, if you will.
Funnily enough, yeah. So that. Read the article for Ben's reflection on Crimson Skies, and by all means get in touch with us. Let us know some of your memories of playing campaigns, or if you've got any thoughts on how to, any tips on how to make
or even any of your little anecdotes.
Yeah,
any
exactly.
of those epic moments, like my dwarf lord drenched in blood in the Colosseum, one of the last standing in that scenario, as I recall.
Basically, because no one could kill him.
Yeah, I think he basically fell beneath a flurry of ogre attacks, but he went about 4 rounds against all sorts of monsters.
Long time,
But any of those epic moments, any stories about folk you met in campaigns, we'd love to hear them.
Exactly.
Might even read some of them out.
Yes, yeah, we could do that. You had a game against BM over the weekend.
I did. So
how'd it go?
I've not done a tournament not for a war game in about, I want to say about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. And I've never done an Age of Sigmar tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a doubles tournament being hosted at Common Ground Games in April called Twin Realms. And we've decided to go ahead and do it. And what we've done, I think this is quite neat, that there's a bit of a, just talking of campaigns, there's a bit of a rivalry emerging between my Fire Slayers and BM's Chaos faction.
Okay.
So what we've decided to do for this double tournament is an unholy alliance.
All right.
Yeah.
Sort of like a begrudging mutual respect for the enemy.
Because that's sort of what has emerged through the little bits of narrative that we've written and the campaign games that we've played. Anya and Folkvar as the two characters. So we've BM's going to be playing as Chaos, specifically Fist of the Everchosen, which is one of the formations from Firestorm.
Right, yeah.
And I'm going to be using my Fire Slayers.
Of course.
With a Stormcast Wizard ally.
Swole Wizards. Been to the gym.
Yeah. So and he's got a couple of endless spells that he can chuck about the battlefield.
Nice, yeah.
So we decided to convene for, it's been my first game of Age Sigmar in about 6 months. I have to say that what has definitely been a huge contributor to my resurgent interest in the Games Workshop stuff of late has been the new White Dwarf.
Yeah, we were talking about this before we started recording, and they've shaken up the format a bit, and probably in a way that will be more familiar to those who used to read White Dwarf back in the 90s.
Yeah, so everyone has been moaning of late, the first 8 pages of White Dwarf for the past...
as long as I can remember. Like
10 years.
Yeah.
It's been all the new releases. That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's returned to being a hobby magazine. There's short stories in there. There's battle reports. There is like strategy columns. There's actual rules.
Actual rules?
Yeah, because this is the thing. They have done rules for a while, but the thing that they keep iterating is that any rules that appear in the White Dwarf are official for the games that they're for.
Yeah,
like they've done Age of Sigmar skirmish rules and things.
So cool.
Just reading that has really rekindled my enthusiasm for it, which is, in case anyone's wondering why I've been talking about these games quite a bit over the past couple of podcasts we've done. But anyway, back to the game with with BM. We decided to reconvene, play a bit of Age of Sigmar, but for some bizarre reason decided that the lists that we'd written to complement one another would use against each other.
How did that pan out?
It's a horrible idea. Badly for me in particular.
Yeah.
But it's almost a little bit like going, let's have the Bard and the Paladin fight each other.
The poor Bard just going, no, please, no more.
But at the same time, it's like, why would you do that? There's not even any comparison. They're designed to work in tandem, not against each other.
Right. So what are you guys going to do going forward as like prep for this tournament then?
Yeah, so we're going to try and arrange a couple of doubles games against some other folks. So probably your bad self included in there.
I might dabble. Yeah. Might dabble.
Bring out the night haunt.
Get your ghosts out.
Yeah.
For the lads.
Yeah. So, it went horribly for me though.
Yeah.
BM's running a Lord of Change. They are disgusting.
So that was me just being sick.
Yeah,
Aye. Bloody big bird.
Because nothing can stop a Lord of Change casting spells.
Yeah. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
It's gross. So that was it. Just like blue fire coming out of his arse, and ripped apart by skin wolves.
Delightful.
So it just went horribly.
Oh well. But you know now not to try that tact again.
Yeah.
And
but I had a bit of a moan about my result, you know. So I think you're allowed to have a bit of a moan, right?
that's your right as the loser.
But then I counted up because I've got a journal that I write all my results down in for Age of Sigmar.
The Book of Grudges.
Yeah, and I think I've got 19 games logged in it, and I think I've won like 11.
Oh, that's a pretty good win to loss ratio.
So right after that, VM was like, "Oh, come on!" You know, it was total reversal. Like, no, you're not allowed to moan. What is that? Like a 66% win ratio? Shut up. So that was me. Like, right, okay, I'll go back to my box.
I'll come down off my horse.
Yeah.
Aye. Well, yeah. So we'll help you guys prep for the doubles tournament in April, and we'll see how that goes. Probably badly for me and whatever unlucky soul is.
Well, that's the plan,
mate.
but at the same time, as the old saying goes, it's like, you know, bad rehearsal, good show.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
true.
You kind of want to do badly in training and in rehearsal, whatever, because I think it keeps you on your toes a little bit.
Aye, indeed.
It makes you more aware of your weaknesses going in. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think if you're bossing every practice game,
you're just gonna feel like you're invincible.
Well, it's not just that. You're maybe not going to be as aware of what your weaknesses are.
Yeah. So we'll let you know how prep for the tournament goes, and when April comes around, how you and BM do on the day itself. But gaming wise, for me, I've done a couple of things this week. We had Pathfinder. Big reveal.
Big reveal, okay.
Big reveal, right. So, we're at the moment, just to catch everyone up.
This is still the campaign where there's like orca whales and...
Yeah, still there. So we are, just to catch up people up where our party is at the moment, we're hunting down drow, all right? The drow have been
full-on race war now. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we've put our chips in, and we're helping these elves exterminate the drow. That sounds really sinister when I put it like that, but drow are really, really bad. They are really, really bad.
That makes this so much better.
Well, oh God. Yeah, so...
But drow are bad, guys.
They are!
All of them.
They're horrible. Anyway, so we're fighting this big battle in the ruins of an ancient elvish city. And this town of elves that we're helping, trying to reclaim their ancestral home back. There's one of the characters was a lieutenant who was a bit of a... Can't say that word on the podcast, but yeah, a bit douchey.
Okay.
Bit of a typical elf, really, but there we go.
Wow. Okay, just all the racism tonight.
It's fantasy racism. That's fine.
It's okay.
That's all right.
Doesn't hurt anyone.
It's true. Shush. Anyway, Dave's character Alanon is a half elf.
Okay.
The big reveal: this lieutenant guy is his father.
Oh.
Yeah. So apparently my face was like I'm infamous for having no poker face whatsoever. Yeah. So apparently my face was a picture when this got revealed. Like just full on.
Just aghast.
Yeah. Just.
Yeah.
So plot wise, that's what's going. That's what's happened. We found this out before the final fight of the battle. Who knows what will happen?
Oh, so they're gonna... We've got cross swords?
No, well, I don't know. No, what I think... I mean, when a big emotional reveal like that happens in a TV show, for example, you kind of think, all right, dead man walking now.
Yeah.
Right? So... But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe there's a way we can save Al-Anon's dad.
Reconcile this, yeah.
So we're going into the Academy of Arts, which is where we think the Drow have like a portal that they're pouring in and out from.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to try and seal that up. So I'll let you know how we get on with that. But secondly, I've been playing a bit of Magic the Gathering again. Surprise. But in paper this time, rather than
digital crack.
Rather than digital crack, your good old fashioned working man's cardboard crack cocaine.
Yes.
There we go. So I did a seal tournament at Geek-a-boo I found myself at a loose end on Sunday.
Geek-a-boo, okay.
Geek-a-boo, yeah.
Not your usual haunt.
No. Well, they were running a seal tournament, which is you buy 6 boosters and you build a deck from it. And it was really good fun. I've never gamed in there before. I happened to just see that they were running this on their Facebook page.
I've been in the shop a couple times.
Yeah, likewise. I bought some things there, but I've never actually partook in an event there. But it was a really nice atmosphere. There was 8 of us in total, which is like a perfect number for a tournament because it means you just do 3 rounds and there's a clear winner. And you're not going to ask?
Well, I'm guessing by how smug you are that you did quite well.
I won. And not only did I win, but I got a nice playmat with some fancy art from the new set and champion written on it because it was so. And on Monday, I also found myself at a loose end in the evening, so I went along to Geek Retreat's draft as well. And you gonna ask me how I did?
How did you do?
I won that as well.
You're so dignified about this winning business, aren't you?
I know, it's great. And not only did I win that one, I won a second copy of the same playmat. So I've got 2 playmats with champion written on.
Just get a picture of you like reclined in a chaise longue draped in the playmats.
As much as I'd love that, and I would love that, but Charlotte actually had a better idea. Okay. So I am going to give away one of these playmats to one of you good listeners and supporters of the channel, so that you too can be a champion at Magic the Gathering.
You're the worst.
What are you? Why? Why is that bad?
Because it's so cheesy.
Shut up! It works.
Does it though? Does it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Right. So, guys, we'll do a bit of a giveaway. What we'll do is we'll post the details on how to enter into the show notes.
Yep.
And we'll just draw winners later on, probably in the month of March.
Sure. Probably be a like, share, subscribe type.
Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Yeah.
You know,
that sort of thing.
Send us mail.
Increase our visibility. Help us to help you.
To help you get a nice playmat.
Yeah.
So I was pretty chuffed though, and I again really loving this new set.
You were saying that one of your games was a bit unpleasant though.
Yeah, the opponent was a bit salty.
Yeah.
This was I don't know. It's just I think you can lose in a fashion which is humble and like pleasant, good game.
You can do that, or you can also do what I do and just try and, in a tongue-in-cheek way, make the other person feel horrible about what they've done.
Like in an over-exaggerated fashion, throw your toys out the pram.
Yeah, that kind of just embrace the hate, like I did with Tom at Kill Team.
Let the hate flow through you.
Well, I mean, I did it with Tom with Kill Team the other day. Counting up his victory, but very good. All of that.
Yeah. That's it. So, but no. On the whole, great experiences. Really, first, given that was my first time at Geek-a-boo as well. Both the staff member Tom, who was organising the event, and the participants themselves were really welcoming. So, definitely going to make a point of going back there. And I know the guys at Geek Retreat, and they're always awesome. So, gonna go there again. Funnily enough.
Yeah,
so
there we go. doing the rounds.
Yeah. Just all the cardboard crack.
Just ruining everyone's day by winning everything.
How's that ruining someone's day?
Well, that guy obviously had a bad day.
Look, anyway. So I think on that note, that's all we've got time for.
Yeah.
There was an upwards inflection there, just to see if there was anything else.
Just end on Josh talking about how awesome he is.
Why don't we do this all the time?
Because it doesn't happen very often.
Just shut up. Right, guys, thanks very much for listening. Until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye.